Prior to ES6, in JavaScript, there were only two data structures, objects and arrays. But with the release of ES6 version of JavaScript, now in JavaScript, along with arrays and objects, we also have two more data structures, and that is maps and sets. So in this lecture, we are going to learn about set data structure and how set data structure stores data. So a set in JavaScript is a collection of unique values. This means that a set can only contain a value once. If you try to add the same value multiple times, it will only be stored once in the set. And sets can hold values of any data type, including primitive values like numbers, strings, booleans, as well as a set can also store values like objects, arrays, or even other sets. So let's see how we can create a set in JavaScript. To create a set in JavaScript, we use new set constructor. Okay, so this new set, it will return us a set. Let's go ahead and let's store it in a variable and let's simply call it my set. Now here we have created an empty set without any items. So if I go ahead and if I log this my set in the console, and if I save the changes, you will see that a set has been logged where the size of the set is 0. That means in this set, we do not have any items. Now, if you want to add items to this set, one of the way in which you can add items to a set is by passing an iterable to it. So for example, here we can pass an array to this set constructor, and there we can specify the elements which we want in that set. So for example, here I have passed an array with elements 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I save the changes, now you will see that this set has a size of 4 and it has 4 values 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now if I try to add a duplicate value, so for example, if I try to add 2 and 3, we have already added 2 and 3 before. A set can only store unique values. So if it finds duplicate values, it simply omits them and it only keeps the unique values. So again, if I save the changes, you will see that even though the array which we are passing here, it has 6 elements. From this array, a set has been created, and in that set, we only have 4 elements. And these 4 values are unique values. We do not have any duplicate value here. But in this array, which we are passing to this set constructor, there we have some duplicate values. We have this 2 and 3 twice. So the duplicate values have been removed and only the unique values have been kept by this set. And we can also create a set with different types of values. So here the set which we are creating, it is storing only the numeric values. But let me go and let me create another set, and I'm going to call it as mixed set. And again, to create a set, we use new set constructor. And to this, we can pass an iterable. For the iterable, again, I'll pass an array. And in that array, I'm going to specify mixed values. So for example, I'm going to specify 100, which is a numeric value. I'll specify true, which is a Boolean value. I'll specify a string value. Let's say hello. I'll specify null. And I'll also specify undefined. Okay. So in this set, we have values of different types. And let me go ahead and let me log this set in the console. So the name of this set is mixed set. If I save the changes, you will see that in this set, we have different types of values. We have string value, we have Boolean value, we have numeric value, we have null values, undefined, etc. If you want, you can also add objects. So for example, here, let me also add an object. And in that object, I'm going to have a single property, let's say name. Name is John. If I save the changes, you will see that in this set, we also have a value of object type, which is this object. So here we have a mixed set. Now, always remember that in a set, you cannot have duplicate values. Then we also know that a string value is also an iterable. So from a string value also, we can create a set. So for example, let me create another set. I'll call it as str set. And to create a set, again, we can use new set constructor. And to this, I'm going to pass a string value. Let's say hello. And now let's go ahead and let's log str set. If I save the changes, you will see that a new set has been logged, and this set is created from the characters of this string value. And in this string, we have this lowercase l twice, but when a set has been created from this string, only a single lowercase l has been kept in that set, because a set cannot have duplicate values. So since a string is also an iterable, we can create sets from a string value also. And a set always contains a unique value. It does not contain a duplicate value. So this is the basic of what a set is and how it stores data. And here we have created a set by using an iterable. So to the set constructor, we are passing an iterable, and from that iterable, we are creating a set. But it is also possible that we create an empty set, and then in that empty set, we add some items using the add method. So a set also has an add method using which we can add new items to a set. So let me comment these two sets, and let's create another set, and let's call it as cities. Okay, and here we are going to create an empty set using this new set constructor. And now to this cities set, we want to add some elements, some items. So for that, on this cities, we can call add method, and we can go ahead and we can add some items for this cities set. So for example, here let me add London, and now let me go ahead and let me log the cities set. If I save the changes, you will see that here we have a set where we have one item called London. Let me go ahead and let me add few more items using the add method. So for example, let's also add Delhi. Let's add maybe New York, and then let's try to add Delhi one more time, and let's add Tokyo. Okay, so here you see we are trying to add 5 items to this city set, and out of those 5 items, this Delhi we are trying to add twice. But since a set can only store unique values, this Delhi will be added only once. This line will be ignored. Here when we are trying to add Delhi again, this will be ignored and Delhi will not be added to this set. So if I save the changes, you will see that now we have a set with 4 elements, and in that set we have London, we have Delhi, and you see we have Delhi only once. Here we tried to add Delhi twice, but since a set can only contain unique values, we have Delhi only once. And then we have New York and we have Tokyo. So using this add method, we can add new items to a set. Then if you want to delete an item from a set, then on this set, we also have a delete method. And to this delete method, you just need to pass the item which you want to delete. For example, let's say I want to delete Tokyo. I can just pass that element, and that will be deleted by this delete method from this set. If I save the changes, you see now when we are logging cities set, there we do not have Tokyo because that has been deleted by this delete method. Then let me write a console.log statement, and let's say we want to check if this cities set, if it has an element, and for that we have a method called has. So we want to check if this cities set has a element called London. If this London item is present in this cities set, this has method will return true. Otherwise, if this London is not found in this cities set, this has method will return false. So if I save the changes, you see here it has returned true because this cities set, it has an item called London, as you can see here. But if I pass a value, let's say Tokyo, since Tokyo has been removed, this has method should return us false because now Tokyo is not present in this cities set. If I save the changes, You see, in this case, it has returned us false. So you can use this has method to check if an item is present in a set or not. So here we have some important methods that you can use on a set. We have already talked about this add method, using which we can add new items to a set. Then we also have the delete method. And also, if you see, this add method returns the set itself after adding that new item to the set. Okay. Then we also have the delete method. To this delete method, we can pass the value which we want to delete from the set. So this removes a value from the set and it returns true if the value was found and deleted. Otherwise, it will return false. Then we also talked about the has method. To this method also, we need to pass the value, and this has method checks if the passed value, if it is present in the set or not. If the value is present, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Then we also have this clear method, which removes all the items from the set. And I'll show you that in a bit. And we also have this size property, which returns us the number of element in the set. So here on this cities set, let me go ahead and let me use the size property. And if we save the changes, you will see that it has returned us 3 because as you can see, in this set we have 3 elements. Here we added Tokyo and then we have also deleted Tokyo from that set. And since we are trying to add Delhi twice, Delhi will be added only once because a set can only contain unique values. So we have London, we have Delhi, we have New York. This Delhi will be ignored and this Tokyo will be added, and after that it will be deleted. So we only have 3 items in this set and this size is logging that. So basically this size will return you the number of elements a set currently has. And on this cities, if we go ahead and if we call clear method, so for example, instead of delete, if I call clear method, and when we call clear, we do not need to pass any argument. If I save the changes, in this case, all the items from this cities set will be cleared. It will be removed. So now you see this set is not logging any element, and the size, when we are calling this size property on this cities set, it is logging 0. That means this clear method has removed all the elements from the cities set. So these are 4 important methods and one important property of a set which you can use. Apart from these 4 methods and the size property, we also have values method, we have entries method, and we have for each method. And we will talk about this for each method in our next lecture. Now, one thing which you would have noticed here is we do not have any method for retrieving data from the set. And also remember that unlike array, in set, we don't have any concept of index. So here, let me go ahead and let me remove this clear method. And let me also remove this duplicate insertion. I mean, adding duplicate value. And now if I save the changes, you will see that in this cities set, we have 4 elements, 4 items, and the size of this cities set is 4. Now let's say I want to retrieve the second element from this cities set. On this set, we do not have any method to retrieve a value. And on this set, we cannot use indexing. So for example, if I say city and then 0, this will not work because the cities is set. And on that, we are trying to use an index to retrieve a value. Let's see what happens in this case. You see, it has logged undefined because indexing does not work with sets. And since we do not have any method to retrieve value from a set, we can say that it is not possible to retrieve values from the set. And retrieving value from the set is not required at all. If you want to retrieve values, then instead of using set, you can use arrays. Now, the difference between an array and a set is, first of all, a set stores a unique value. But in an array, you can have duplicate values. And the second difference is, in an array, you can use indexing to retrieve elements from the array. But in a set, you do not have any way to retrieve value from a set. As you can see, A set is storing data just like an array, but there is no way to retrieve data from a set. Now, the question which will come to your mind is, if we cannot retrieve data from a set, then what is the use of having a set data structure? Remember that sets are not about retrieving data. It is just about uniqueness and membership, not retrieval by index. The primary focus of a set is to efficiently store unique values and do quick check for the presence of a value. We can check the presence of a value using has method. So the core operations which we can perform on a set is adding new elements to a set, deleting elements from a set, and checking if an element is present in a set or not. The concept of an index or key does not align with this core purpose. Sets are designed for fast membership checks. That means to check if an item is present in a set or not, and it is not for retrieving elements based on their position. Also, in set, order is implicit, not explicit. That means while sets do maintain insertion order, that means elements are iterated in the order they were added, this order is not considered a primary feature for element retrieval. It's more of a side effect that is useful for iteration. So sets are not designed for random access like arrays. Then in sets, we store value directly. We do not have any key value pair in sets. Also, sets are more efficient when we want to add element or delete element or check the existence of an element in a set. And because of this, if we maintain an index for a set also, just like how we have it for an array, it would add overhead. And the design of sets is optimized for speed in membership check, which is a common use case. So remember that sets are used not for storing data so that it can be retrieved. Instead, sets are used for faster membership check. That means to check if an element is present in an iterable or not, and for faster deletion of an element, faster addition of an element, etc. I hope you got the point. So in the next lecture, what we will do is we will see some use cases where we can use a set, and that will make it more clear why sets were introduced in JavaScript with the release of ES6 and what is the actual purpose of using sets. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.